Yes. What are the active and passive components that you know? Yes, Ramakrishna.
Passive elements are resistors, conductors, insulators.
Okay. What about active?
Active diode.
What is the definition actually? What is active and what is passive?
Voltage sources, sir.
Yeah, voltage sources are active. So I want in the form of definition. Active and passive.
Which supplies powers to the terminals.
Okay. What about passive?
Passive, which takes.
Okay. They absorb, and active means they deliver. Okay. So can anyone tell me the working of resistor, inductor, and capacitor? RLC. Working followed by the formulas for RLC. Yes, anyone? Resistor. What is the use of
Sir, can you
resistor?
repeat?
Yes, Samyukta, tell me. Guys, am I audible?
Sir, resistors are the one which absorbs energy when current passes through them.
What is the definition? It will resist the flow of current.
Yes.
Okay. Then what about capacitor?
Capacitor that stores energy in form of electric field.
Right. In the form of electric field. What is the voltage across capacitor? And what about current? Anyone from lateral entry?
Voltage across capacitor is Q by C.
Okay. First tell me voltage across inductor. V equal to L into di by dt. Suppose if I want I, then I should integrate on both sides. So integration of VL L into di by dt. So that here differentiation integration will get cancelled. So that integral L into I. So as I want I can write it like this: 1 by L integral VL of t dt. Yes or no? Right. In the same manner, tell me across capacitor. First tell me the current. I is equal to C into
dV by dt.
dV by dt. If I want voltage, integrating both sides. You integrate this on both sides and tell me the answer.
dI by
Integration of this equation number 1.
1 by
dt.
C
1 by C integral.
integral V IC of t into dt.
Okay. And so only till here you know like what is resistor, capacitor, and inductor. And are there any types in this in resistors? Types. So yes, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
See, types of resistors. In this also there is fixed as well as variable. What is the difference between these two? What is fixed and what is variable?
Variable is changing.
Okay. Change. And this is fixed. Under fixed also you can see like carbon film, metal film, wire wound resistors. Whereas in case of variable, there are some times like semi-fixed, completely variable, or else potentiometer. Now we shall see. I'll show you first types. See this. This is carbon film resistor. First category. Next one is metal film resistor. So suppose if you have a resistor, how to calculate the value for it? Suppose whether it is 10K or 100K, how will you know? Is there any format to identify?
Color coding, sir.
Yes, can you tell me the color codes? Like how many colors you know? First one is, you remember like this, BB, ROY. Next, here B stands for black. Next one is brown. R stands for red.
Red.
O stands for
Orange.
orange. Y,
Yellow.
okay. G,
Green.
green. B stands for blue. See this. You can remember like this. BB Roy, Great Britain, very good wife. So in the short format, BB ROY, next GB, and very good wife. So here B stands for black. So the digit that is assigned to this is 0. Next one is brown. So the value assigned to it is 1. R stands for red. So 2. O means orange. Y means yellow. G stands for green. B stands for blue. V means violet. This is gray and white. Next, in this also there are certain kinds of bands will be there, like 4-band resistor, 3-band resistor. Categories are there. Let me show. So this is nothing but a band. See here 1, this is 2, 3. Here this last value stands for tolerance. Okay, so this is a 3-band resistor. Whereas here you can observe this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4-band. Okay, like this you need to differentiate types of bands, whereas the color codings will be same for all the bands. But first let us find the value for this, for 3-band resistor. Let me erase this. Can you tell me the value for this? Here G stands for green. So what is the color code for green? If you're having doubt, make a note like this. BB ROY, Great Britain with great wife. So here green. What is the value for this? Value for green.
5.
It is 5. Okay. Next one is blue. What is the code for blue? 6. It is 6. Now the third one should be written in the form of powers like this, like 10 power 0, 10 power 1, 10 power 2, depending upon the color. 10 to the power of color code. Okay. So what is the color here? Yellow. So what is the code for yellow? It is 4. So I should write it as 10 power 4. So this is 56 into 10 power 4, or else it can be written like this, 56 into 10 into 10 power 3. So that it becomes 560 kilo ohms. Clear? K stands for 10 power 3. What about milli? Milli stands for?
Power 6.
Milli.
-3.
Milli means 10 power -3. Micro?
-6.
10 power -6.
Minus
Nano?
10 power 9.
10 power -9.
Minus.
Next. Picofarad means? Pico. 10 power -12. Okay, so here kilo means 10 power 3. Suppose if it is 1 mega ohm, then M stands for 10 power 6. Okay, you need to remember this at least. So directly by seeing the resistors, you need to write this color code. Or else the another technique is directly you can go with multimeter. Multimeter will be there, by using which directly you can calculate the value of it. So do you know what about multimeter? I'll show you multimeter.
Yes, sir.
So this multimeter, which can be used to calculate everything. See here, V stands for voltage. Here the above symbol, if you observe here, it is AC, whereas this line stands for DC. You can observe here. See this one. Here this is nothing but AC in nature, whereas this is DC. Next, this is something which is used to check the working of diode. Okay, you'll get buzzer sound generally. And here, what about this mu A? Mu A stands for
Microampere.
microampere. So it is nothing but current or voltage.
Current.
Current. Here, MA stands for
Milliampere.
milliampere. Next here, this is 12 volt supply. This is 9 volt supply. And what about these two here? This one and this one. Then nothing but connecting probes will be there. So one red probe followed by black. So this is something which is positive and negative. Okay. And this is nothing but common port. I mean neutral. Generally in wiring case you'll see like phase, ground and neutral. Generally we call it as earth. Okay. So for phase generally we go with a red wire, and for ground it will be black. For the sake of earthing we go with green color. Okay. So by using this multimeter also you can measure. Okay. So rule number 316. Can you tell me the color code for this? For this 4 band?
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me.
2.
Okay, red is 2. Next.
Sir, next one is red or orange?
It is considered as red only.
2. Again 2,
Okay.
sir.
Next.
Next,
Violet.
violet.
So I think it is orange, no, sir.
Consider it as red. No issue. For the sake of understanding, we are taking
Okay,
it.
sir.
Next.
0, sir.
Last one is 10 power.
10 power 4.
What is this color?
Black, sir. 0.
Black. Black means 0. So 10 power 0. So this is 227 into 10 power 0 is 1.
10 to the power of.
So it is 227 ohm. Clear? Follow this notation. First one will be digit, second one will be digit, third is digit, and fourth one is power. Here this is 3 band. So first and second are digit, third one is nothing but 10 power color.
10 power.
Okay.
Sir, for only last one we have 2 power, sir.
Yes. So better you tell me for this. Is this Nitin?
Sir.
Yeah. Tell me the color code for this.
For upper one green, sir. 5.
Me right. Green is 5. Okay.
Blue is 6
Okay.
into 10 power 4.
Into 10 power 4. So what's the value? Can I write like this? 560 into 10 power 3.
Yes, sir.
So this is 560 kilo ohm. Okay.
Okay.
Then what about this tolerance? Any idea on this? What is this tolerance? Anyone? You can observe this last band here. This band stands for tolerance. How to calculate? What's the color of it? Only two tolerance bands are there. See here. Last one is gold followed by silver.
Silver.
So it is silver. So see the tolerance range for it. It is 10% of tolerance. Means 560 kilo ohm plus 10%. So it is 560 kilo ohm plus 10 by 100. So it is 560 kilo ohm plus 0.1. So what does this mean? Tolerance means either the value of resistance will be above 560 or else it may be below 560 by this range. Either it can be 560.1 or else less than that, 559.9. Yes or no? Tolerance means plus or minus 10%. We can't get accurate value. That's why if you go for 1 kilo ohm resistor also, if you try to measure it, generally its value will be something like this, 998 or 999, depending upon the tolerance limit. Clear on how to calculate this?
Yes, sir.
For this, you try to tell me. Say this. Suppose if it is 4 band. 4 band means first one will be digit, second one will be digit, and third one is nothing but 10 power color. And this is nothing but tolerance, which can be either 5% or else 10%. Suppose if it is 5 band code, then first 3 will be digits and the last one will be the multiplier. And last one is tolerance. Now randomly I'll consider this a 5 band. So I'm considering it as R, G, B, and here tolerance value is silver. So rule number 304. Suppose if this is a resistor, try to tell me the value for this.
R means 2, sir.
What is the color code for red?
2.
Next, green.
Green 5.
Green is 5. Next, this is considered this one as black.
Black 0.
Okay, next.
Into 10 to the power of 0.
Okay, this is plus or minus.
Plus
Silver.
or
Silver means
10.
tolerance value is 10%.
Plus or minus 10.
So this is 250 into 10 power 0 is 1 plus or minus 10%. Clear? This is how you have to calculate the value of resistor. Is it clear for everyone? Next, let us go for this breadboard. We call this as breadboard. Okay, so directly we can connect the components here. See, suppose if I'm taking one resistor, like drag and drop connection, you can observe here. Once if I try to zoom in, here all these vertical lines are becoming green. What does this mean here? What is the meaning of it? Here we call this as a breadboard, which is divided into 4 parts. See here, top one is generally we use this one for supply, and this bottom one for ground. And here we connect all the different components, which can be active as well as passive. But the difference is in the power supply, all this horizontally shorted here. This is a row which is horizontally shorted. Again, the second one is again horizontally started. The same thing is applicable for this ground also. Okay, they're horizontally shorted, whereas this one they're vertically shorted. I mean, vertically they are connected back to back. See here, that's why all these lines are becoming green. So suppose if I want to connect another resistor here. Now by saying this, you tell me whether I've connected this resistors in series or parallel. I've connected some
Series.
resistors like this. Yeah, how can you say that it is in series? Why not parallel?
Starting to ending.
Yes, correct. If you're having doubt, you can see this. Everyone, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
If you're having a system, better try to install the software and try to practice. See this. all these are connected in series. R1 which is 220 ohm, R2 which is 220, and R3 is 220. So what is the equivalent resistor for this? Equivalent value?
660, sir.
Right. So it is simply R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay. Let me show an internal diagram for that also. So let us see in. See this, they're internally shorted here. Suppose if you consider this as supply and this one as ground. This is simply, I'm calling it as supply. This is ground. They're connected horizontally, whereas here they're connected vertically. This is the middle part. So the entire breadboard is divided into 4 parts. This is first part, second, this is third one, and fourth one. I'm saying that this first one I'm using for supply and the fourth one I'm using as ground, and all the remaining components I'm connecting here, like both active as well as passive components I'm connecting within this space. Okay. And one more thing is, you can observe this figure here. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 parts are internally shorted till here. From here to here, they are internally shorted. See here, this is first one, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. So from 1 to 5, they're internally shorted. Again, here there isn't a break. Again, from 6 to 10th, they're internally shorted. This is how they're internally connected. Is it clear for everyone? How they are connected? Breadboard. So 1 to 5 are shorted, again 6 to 10. Bottom also same. 1 to 5 followed by 6 to 10 are horizontal, whereas these lines are vertically shorted. Okay, so all the active and passive components can be connected within this range. So have you seen your lab manual? I've posted it in group.
No, sir.
See, once you try to grow with it so that it will be easy for you to understand. So this is, we call it as an breadboard. So all the active and passive components can be connected on this before fabricating. Fabricating means PCB. PCB is nothing but printed circuit board.
Sir, on WhatsApp group you have shared, sir.
In Teams only. In Teams, I've created a separate group and I've uploaded there. Once you try to check that manual.
Okay.
Okay. The name of the group is AE Lab. So here, so rule number 6. Can you explain me this? Breadboard, how they are connected? Rule number 7. Guys, be free. I won't scold you or I won't do you anything. Better try to speak at least. Rule number 8. Rule number 309.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you explain me this? How they are connected internally? Breadboard connections.
Yes, sir.
You tell me, I'll write on the screen.
They are connected in 5 groups, sir.
Okay.
The first one we can take as a power source, and the fourth one we can take as ground.
Okay.
And in 2, 3, we can connect any components, resistor,
Okay.
anything what we.
Right. Next, how they are shorted? How this 2 and 3 are shorted?
First one is 2 and 3 are vertically shorted.
Yes, they are vertically shorted. And again here there is a gap. You can observe here. There is no connection here. Next, again they are vertically shorted like this. What about this 1 and 4?
They are horizontally shorted.
Right. But the important condition to note is here only from 1 to 5 they are connected. Again here there is a gap.
Yes, sir.
There is a break here.
Yes.
Again from here to here you can connect. Okay. This is a connection of breadboard. So here you can connect like this.
Sir,
Okay.
every breadboard is only of this size, sir, or there will be increasing
Different
size?
sizes will be there depending upon the type of project or application that you are using. So this is a mini sized board you can see here. This one, medium sized. So large circuits you can't connect on this. And generally in our college, we are using this kind of boards, this size. Okay, and this is how
Sir,
you
in that
yes, tell me.
in that mini boards, sir, the first line is consist of only 5. No, sir.
See here, this is divided into 2 parts like this. Suppose if this is a big size board, I've divided it into 2 parts. This half part is called as a mini board. You can observe this diagram here. See, 1, 2,
Then how they are divided, sir?
4, 5. Like this. So from here to here, they're horizontally connected, whereas here vertical. Again, there is a gap here followed by the same connection.
Okay.
Okay. See, generally, suppose if scale is from 1 centimeter to 30 centimeters, suppose if I divide it into 2 parts, this becomes 15 and this becomes 15. Okay, so this is one mini sized board, this is another mini sized board. So depending upon the application you can use. And this is how connections are made. Like the above part is used for supply and this is for ground. And you can connect both active and passive components within the space. And we call it as an probe. So later we shall see about this. And can anyone identify this one? What is this? What is this symbol?
Transistor.
Yes, this is
Transistor.
How many terminals are there for this?
3.
3.
Okay. What are they?
Emitter, base, collector.
Emitter, base, collector.
Emitter, base, and collector. So I'll ask you one question now. Can I connect all those in this manner? In this vertical manner, can I connect like emitter, base, and collector?
No.
Why? What will happen?
No, sir. We have to correct it horizontal.
Yes, it should be connected horizontally. Why? Because they are vertically shorted. Suppose if you connect it like this, directly it will act as short circuit and your transistor will be damaged. Okay. So this is emitter, base, and collector. In this manner, you have to connect, and followed by seeing the circuit diagram, you can connect the different resistors and capacitors for that. We shall see that. Okay, so this is how we need to connect. Suppose this is emitter, this is base, this is collector. See, can I connect like this? 2 portions on one side and another left over one terminal on the bottom side. Here, this is how I'm connecting.
No, sir.
So here I'm connecting emitter, here collector, and here base. Can I do this?
No, sir.
Why?
2 ports are different, no, sir.
Yes, here it is divided
They are
into
not connected.
2 parts. So here there won't be any flow of current. Why we know this? See, suppose if this is suppose I'm going for common emitter. This is emitter, this is base, and this is collector. Always there will be a flow of current from base to emitter in this direction. Suppose if it is NPN. So as there is a gap here or there is a break, it will create an obstruction for it. Okay, so we can't connect like that also. And these are some of the types of resistors which you have seen. So is everyone clear on how to calculate the value of a resistor?
Yes, sir.
Let me call a number. Rule number 17. Rule number 17. Saujanya, you are not at all responding. Next, rule number 18. Yashwant. Sai Charan.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the color codes? That short technique BB.
ROY GB.
Okay. Next. VGW. Okay. Here B stands for
0. Black.
Okay. Next.
Blue. Red.
Blue or brown?
Blue.
It is brown.
Okay, sir.
First one is black, next is brown. R means
Red.
O.
Orange.
Next.
Yellow. Green.
Mm.
Blue. Violet.
This is gray.
Gray.
Next.
White.
Okay. How many tolerance bands are there? Next roll number.
2. 2, sir.
2 tolerance band. What are they? What is
Gold,
the color?
Silver.
Okay, gold
Gold,
and
silver.
What is
5%,
the
10%.
tolerance band for gold?
5%.
5% plus or minus 5%. Next is plus or minus
10%.
10%. I hope everyone are clear with this. Okay. So what is this?
Capacitors.
This is
Capacitor, sir.
observe carefully.
Transistors.
Transistor.
It is a transistor. Again, in this also there are types like 3-terminal devices are. One is bipolar junction transistor, and the next concept will be FET. What is FET? Any idea on this? Anyone? FET.
Field effective transistor.
Correct. It is field effect transistor. So what is the use of going for this? Which one is better among BJT and FET, and why? This is the next concept for you. So till now you have learned only till bipolar junction transistor, and the next one is FET, field effect transistor. Generally we go for this because of high input impedance. When we need high input impedance, in that applications we'll go for FET, which is field effect transistor. And any idea on this IC? What is this IC? IC means integrated circuit. So in your mobiles, are you using any kinds of ICs on your motherboard? Have you seen? Suppose if this is your motherboard, it contains some different elements. Like suppose if I'm considering an IC, what is an IC?
Integrated circuit.
Integrated circuit.
Means on this IC, we are placing active and passive components. Okay, so for each and every small application, if we design like this, it will become an headache for us. Like by using all the normal active and passive components, it is becoming an headache for it. So that's why, in order to overcome this problem, on a small wafer, which is nothing but IC, integrated circuit, it contains active as well as passive components. So depending upon the application, we go for it. So in the next semesters, you'll learn about this integrated circuit. In this sem, you should be perfect with bipolar junction transistor. First is PN diode, BJT, and FET. Okay, at least you need to be perfect with these 3 components like PN, working of PN diode, bipolar junction transistor, and field effect transistor. So you can learn about this ICs in your next semester. So this is how ICs are there. Again, different terminals will be there like 8-pin IC, 40-pin, 28-pin ICs. Okay, like this. So already we have seen about color codes and how capacitance is measured. What are the units? Units for capacitance.
Farads.
Microcontrollers are also ICs, sir.
Yes, microcontrollers are also ICs. Actually, there are 2 types, microprocessors and microcontrollers. Now I'm teaching you from computer, right? So am I using MP or MC? Am I using microprocessor or microcontroller?
MP, microprocessor.
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 In your mobile, is it controller or processor?
Controller.
Processor.
Processor. Sir.
What is the difference between these 2? Difference. What is the difference?
Processor required more space, sir.
Okay. What about controller?
It required less space.
See, generally, if I
If
go
it
with
is
a
nothing
desktop
but a
computer,
chip, sir.
okay, in desktop computer, there will be a motherboard. Okay. So here, this is in space which I'm alerting for this IC. Suppose you can go for either Intel or AMD. Okay, which is nothing but processor. I'll place the processor here. And what are the other components needed apart from processor, motherboard, and do you have any idea on this? What is RAM? What is ROM?
Yes, sir. RAM-ROM.
What is this? What is the use of this two?
RAM is required for running system apps
Random
and
access.
random accessories, sir.
Random access memory. And what is ROM?
Read-only
ROM for
Read-only.
storage, sir. Read-only memory.
Read-only memory. Okay. And do you know about these two terms? What is volatile and non-volatile?
So these are the types, I think.
See, suppose now I'm using the system. Okay. So all the operating systems and everything will be loaded into that RAM. Like the applications which I'm using, generally that the temporary results will be stored in RAM. And suppose if I shut down my computer, what will happen? Will it store the entire information like that only? Yes, someone said erase. So when the power is on, it will remember the information. Suppose if it is power is not there, it will erase everything that is present in RAM. Then what about ROM? This is permanent.
That stores the. Yes, sir. That stores.
So in your mobiles, you have, I think you have heard about this flashing mobile. Any idea on that? What is flashing of a mobile?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Resetting all the memory.
It will claim all the ROM, sir.
It will create all the information that is present in ROM. If everything is cleared from the ROM, what will happen? Can you boot your mobile?
Yes, sir. It will boot to the system.
If ROM is erased, ROM, if it is erased, can you boot your mobile?
Yes, sir.
You can't. It will be stuck at this point. Bootloader. Have you heard this term, bootloader?
Yes, sir.
Suppose if you are going for Motorola, you can see only this symbol, but you can't. OS will not be present. Yes or no? Generally, this is called as a bootloader. So initial OS stands for operating system. So in your mobiles, you are going with Android operating system. Suppose if I'm going for computer, generally Windows, Linux, so on, like XP 10. Okay. This is the main difference between ROM and RAM. But all these concepts are not needed for you. As you've asked, I've explained. So if you are clear with those basic terms, we shall start. So our first experiment is VI characteristics of silicon and germanium diode and measurement of these two, static and dynamic resistance. So shall we start? VI characteristics.
Yes, sir.
So can anyone tell me what are the characteristics of VI in case of suppose if it is silicon? Silicon characteristics. What is the cut-in voltage?
0.7, sir.
0.7.
Okay, for germanium?
0.3.
0.3.
0.3. And can you tell me the connection now? Suppose I want to know whether how much amount of voltage or current it is present. Suppose I'm going with this random circuit, voltage source followed by a resistor and one PN diode. Suppose if this is a connection, plus minus, this is supply Vs, resistance, and this is diode. Suppose I'm considering this diode as silicon diode. So tell me the working for this. I think it will be very easy for you. Already you have studied this one. So how to analyze the working of this diode? Forward bias and reverse bias case. Again, in diodes also, how many types are there? What is ideal and what is practical? In the yesterday's class, I've told you what is ideal diode and what is practical diode. Ideal and practical. Yes. Suppose if this diode is forward biased, in case of ideal, how should I replace this? No one is responding.
Short circuit.
Yes, it will act as short circuit. Suppose if this diode is reverse biased, then
Open circuit.
open circuited. In case
Open
of practical,
circuit, sir, in ideal case.
this is very important now. In case of practical, you tell me. Practical case, if it is forward biased, what should I do? Suppose you consider this as silicon diode. You need to replace it with cut-in voltage. What is the cut-in voltage? Cut-in voltage of this one is
0.7.
so this is the
0.6.
equivalent circuit 0.6 to 0.7, generally 0.7. Okay, 0.7 followed by R. Suppose if it is reverse biased, it is replaced with resistor. Okay, clear with this at least. Now our practical is this one. This one we shall analyze in practical case. Let us see the VI characteristics of diode. So I hope everyone know this. No need to revise again all the concepts. Yes or no? Tanvi, can you explain me this as an overview by seeing the diagram? Just the working of it.
PN junction, sir.
PN diode. Working, or else anyone from lateral entry? Shivani?
Sir.
Yeah, can you explain me the working of it as an overview?
Okay, sir.
As an overview, explain fast. What is diffusion, drift? What is happening in case of forward bias, reverse bias?
In forward bias, P type P is connected to positive and N is connected to negative, sir.
Okay. So current is because of majority or minority in case of forward bias?
Majority, sir.
Okay. What kind of current do we get? Because of majority charge carriers?
Electrons.
Because of majority carriers, what kind of current? Two types of currents are there.
Yes, sir. Drift current and diffusion current.
Okay, because of majority, which one?
Drift current, sir.
Diffusion current we will get, sir.
Diffusion.
Diffusion.
Okay. Next. Reverse bias case. P is connected to?
P is connected to negative and N is connected to positive.
Okay.
In
And
this
current is because of?
Drift current.
Drift. Current is because of minority carriers. Now let us see. We shall simulate this directly. See forward bias, silicon diode characteristics. See, this is the diagram. Voltage source, resistance, and why I have connected ammeter in series? Why not parallel?
It
Here.
measures only current.
Okay, it will measure current. But why can't can I connect like this? Suppose if this is an ammeter, can I connect like this? Tell me which one is correct, this one or this one?
No, sir, in series only, sir, because current get divides in parallel.
We can't calculate like this. Always current through the diode or else across the diode.
Through the diode. Across the diodes.
Current through. Always current is through. If it is voltage?
Cross.
Voltage across. Remember these 2 points. Voltage across and current through. Now let us see. We shall assign some random values for this. See here. Now I need a diode. So in diodes also there are some categories, like these are the naming of the diode. Like if it is 1N4007. So this is a standard diode which will have VF of 0.6. What is this VF?
Forward voltage.
Yes, it is forward voltage. Means what does this mean? Minimum I need to apply the voltage greater than 0.6, then the diode will act as short circuit. Okay, so randomly I will give some resistance. So here you can see this. I'm giving the value for it as 1000, 1 kilo ohm suppose. Okay, so the value of resistor is 1 kilo ohm. Now I need to apply some VDC. So this is what I'm doing. If this is a diode, I'm applying this positive to positive or negative to negative, plus and minus. I'm calling this as VDC. Okay, for different values of VDC, we shall calculate the output voltage as well as current. Okay, see this. So suppose if VDC is 0.2, what will happen to the diode? It will act as short circuit or open circuit. VDC 0.2.
Short circuit, sir.
No. You can see this here. VF is 0.6. Means minimum I need to apply voltage greater than 0.6 so that it will act as short circuit, or else it won't function at all.
Greater than forward voltage.
Okay, that's why you can see here forward voltage is 0 and current is 0. Next, I'm trying to increase the value. See here from 0.2. Suppose if I go for 0.3. So no voltage and no current. Slowly try to increase the value. If it is 0.4, again no value. Next 0.5, no. If it is 0.6, again I'm not getting any voltage and current. See, now I'm increasing the voltage beyond the 0.6. Now see what will happen.
Change.
Any change?
Yes.
So is this diode ideal diode or practical diode?
Practical
What kind of
diode.
diode is correct? It is practical diode.
Practical diode.
Okay, the forward voltage is 0.6. For in case of ideal diode, it will be 0 directly. VF will be 0. Now next, I'm trying to increase the value. So in experiment, what you need to do is for different values of VDC, you need to calculate this current as well as voltage. So I'll open that lab manual. See, this is the diagram. I've used 1N4007. And under forward bias case, you need to calculate these values. This is nothing but supply. For 0, I'm not got any VF as well as IF. Now next I have applied the voltage of 0.7. For 0.7, what is the value I got?
0.53.
So it is 0.530. And what about current?
0.10.
0.100. In the same manner, you need to calculate values like this. So how many are using system? Any count? Can you raise your hand? And any more? Vamshi is also there. So if you're using from system, I'll tell you some software so that you can download them and you can try. Next, I'll show you some of the softwares for you. Like this is one of the software. Fredzing. By using this, you can connect all the circuit directly and you can analyze. So this is PCB, printed circuit board fabrication, and this is nothing but the circuitry which you'll see in your textbooks. In this manner, you'll see. And in the background code will also be generated for that particular circuitry. This is one of the software. At the same time, the another one is this one, Proteus. I've recorded video for this and I'll share you that link. Better try to install by seeing that video. So this is one more software. So you can connect all the different circuitry in this and you can simulate it directly. Okay. So you can place components like this. Suppose if I want diode. In detail, I'll show you. Just I'll showing you as an overview here. Suppose if this is a diode. Check the diode. And suppose if I want 1N007. Some random circuit I'll take. Okay, this is the one. So this is how you can drag and drop. In this manner, you can connect all the different circuitries. In the next labs, I'll show you. At least you try to install that software by next session so that it will be easy for you to understand this. Okay, now directly I'm going with the online simulation tool so that it will be easy for you to understand at least the working part. Okay, in this manner, can you fill this table now by using different supply voltages? You need to calculate VF as well as IF.
Yes, sir.
Slowly increase in this manner. From 0.7, you go to 1. Click on this add to table. So that I got some value. Next, from 1 volt, I'll go to 2 volt. So after doing this, simply click on this plot. So have you seen this graph anywhere?
Yes, sir. VI characteristics graph.
Correct. VI characteristics. We got this graph. Under forward bias characteristic, this is a graph. In the same manner, reverse bias. This is small amount of minority. Again, it will enter into an what kind of region is this?
Breakdown.
Breakdown.
Sir, but in silicon, the flow will be after 0.7. No?
It will be after 0. Generally, it varies between 0.6 to 0.7. Okay, depending upon the diode that you take. See, let us change the diode now. I'm changing the diode number here. The diode that I've selected is 1N4007. In this manner, all the diodes you can try this. 1N4001. Forward voltage is again 0.6. Suppose if it is 4, again the forward voltage is 6. See here, the forward voltage is reduced 0.5. Depending upon this number of the diode, it will vary. If it is 4448, the forward voltage is 0.62. If it is 5408, its value is 0.6. But generally we go with this one, 1N4007. Okay. So in this manner, you try to calculate the forward bias characteristics of silicon diode, and I'll share you this link also once you try to work on this. So yes.
There in labs also we have all these types of diodes.
Yes, and diodes will be there. But the thing is, you need to place all these components on breadboard, then you need to analyze. But here, as we are going online, so that's why I'm going with this virtual lab, online simulation tools. But in our college, you need to place all those components on this breadboard like this. Okay, see, suppose battery. I want battery, right? See here, battery. Next, what are the other components needed for that circuitry? Tell me, please. One resistor.
Resistor, sir.
Okay, one resistor. I'm placing it randomly here. Next.
Emitter.
Diode.
And diode is needed. So let me type here. Randomly, I'm taking one diode. So it should be connected in series or parallel?
Series, sir.
Series. And how to identify the diode? In this, which one is anode and which one is cathode? I'm zooming it. You tell me. Which one is anode and which one is cathode in this?
Red color is marked red, sir.
Here, which one? It is positive or negative?
Positive.
Yes. Here A means it is positive. Here this mark indicates it is negative. Okay. See, C stands for cathode. Okay. Here this is A. A stands for anode. So in the college, you need to connect like this. Next, positive is connected somewhere here, or else directly you can go in this manner also. This line I'm using for supply, whereas this line, or else directly you can use here also. This line for ground. Next, from here to here directly. I'll move this downward. It will be easy for you to understand. Okay, next from here, it should be connected to ground. Is this correct? Observe the diagram. See this? This is resistor. This is diode. Are there any connections missing here?
Yes, sir. Diode to negative terminal.
So here one connection is missing from negative to diode. So how should I connect? So have you observed any difference in this? Just now I've told you the working of a breadboard. By observing that, you tell me whether all the connections are made or is there anything missing.
Ground, sir. This you have made this 5 after
Good.
the 5.
Good observation. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here there is a gap, so there won't be any connection now. So can I move this here? I'll delete this path now. So either you can use either first 5 or else the last 5, but don't try to mix up. If I connect it here, now you tell me. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
I need to refresh this. Okay, so don't make this kind of errors. Either go with first 5 or else next 5. So once if you have a system, better try to install this software. So actually it is paid software. I'll try to share that software link directly with you, but you try to install that and try once. So in our laboratories, we will do experiments in this manner directly by using breadboard, and all these components will be given for you. Like this is 1N4007. This is resistor, which is 1 kilo ohm, and supply voltages will be there. So by making the connections on the breadboard, you need to calculate all these values in this manner. For different values of VDC, you need to calculate forward voltages followed by currents. Clear? Or any doubts in this? So these experiments are very easy once if you are perfect with the theory part. So now let us see the reverse bias silicon diode. So can anyone explain me quickly so that we can go with the next one? First, what should I do?
Choose the diode, sir.
Yes, first I'll choose the diode. Which one?
07.
Okay. Next. Next, what should I do?
Resistance value, sir. Resistance
So
value.
here we are going with 1K. Okay, I've kept 1K. Next. Next, what should I do? I need to apply
Voltage, sir. VDC.
VDC. Suppose initially I kept it as 0.2. So I got some reverse voltage as well as reverse current. Now you try to increase this value. Suppose if I go with 5 directly. Five. Add to table. See here, I got 4.52 as the reverse voltage and reverse current is 0.1. Next in this manner, go with the different values, like go with 10, add to table. Next, some random value, 17. So here, have you observed this VR? What is this VR here?
Reverse voltage.
Reverse voltage. What will happen if I exceed beyond that? See this graph. Now you see this table and tell me what has happened here.
Current.
Current is flowing, sir. Excess current is flowing.
See this. This is reverse bias characteristics. So till here, it is having some small amount of minority current. That minority current is in the range of 0.100 microamperes. If I try to increase beyond this point, it is entering into a region called as good. We call it as breakdown. See here, breakdown has occurred. So what is this voltage at this point? It is VZ. Generally, we have denoted it with VZ. What is this voltage? Zener voltage, or is the maximum cut-in voltage. So if I exceed beyond this value, it will enter into the region called as breakdown region. So heavy current is flowing through the diode now. Clear? So if you are perfect with the theory part, it will be easy for you to understand this. See it here. Here VR reverse voltage is 30. So if I exceed beyond that 30, it will enter into an breakdown. This is all about silicon diode. In the same manner, go with germanium diode. Again. So Tanvi, can you do it? I'll give the control for you. Can you share the screen and explain? I'll share you this link.
Where I should install now?
No, this is an online simulator. Directly click on that link, it will open. Tanvi. So you are the presenter now. Try to explain me about that germanium diode. Just you click on that link and share the screen. First share the screen, then click on that link. Yes, you explain. So others, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, then we continue. First, you choose the value of resistance. So set it to 1 kilo ohms. I mean 1000. So here it is in the form of kilo ohms. So directly you can go with 1. So see the units. It is in the range of kilo ohms. Okay, done. Next, choose the DC voltage. For different values, come from the starting point. Okay, first you set to the small value 0.2. Click on add to table. All right. Next, try to increase that value, DC voltage value. Okay. Take some random values like 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. Right. Take some random 10 values and then click on the plot. So you need to calculate, you need to write all these values, like what is the value of VDC. For that particular value of VDC, what is the amount of forward voltage as well as the forward current that I'm getting. So based on that, you need to draw the graph in your lab. So directly go to the maximum value now. Add to table. Next, last. Now click on plot. If it is done, you will observe the graph. See here. So rule number 4017. Can you explain me that graph? 409. 4009. Pujita. Nitin?
Sir.
Yeah, explain me that graph. How we got? Already we have completed
That
this
is
part.
germanium, sir, forward bias.
Yes, forward bias characteristics of germanium diode. For different values of voltages, I got current. So here current is in the range of milliamperes or microamperes. Everyone did this mistake while drawing that graph in your internal. Yes, current forward current will be in the range of milliamperes. Reverse current will be in the range of microamperes. Correct. Next, then we go with reverse bias characteristics again. Click on go back. See, I've shared you the link. Check your WhatsApp. So everyone, first be perfect with the theory part. Click on list of experiments. Next, VI characteristics of diode. In that, germanium reverse bias. Click on simulation. Next, in that, reverse bias germanium diode. So again, the same concept. Set the value of resistance again for different values of DC voltage. Plot the graph. So I hope everyone, can you do this? In your mobile also you can do this if you're not having a PC. Better try to attempt all those quiz questions so that you'll be perfect with the theoretical part also. So this is all about the working of silicon and germanium under both forward bias as well as reverse bias characteristics. So take randomly some 10 values and try to plot that graph. So in your lab, you need to plot all these values on a graph paper. So you need to maintain both observation as well as record. Marks will be given for your observation as well as record also. Right, click on plot. Go to the maximum value. Last. Increase DC to the maximum point and click on add to table. Now click on plot. See, what is this graph? Reverse bias or forward bias? Vamshi?
Reverse bias, sir.
Reverse bias characteristics. Done. Thank you, Tanvi. See, this is experiment number 1. So in experiment number 1, aim is to obtain the plot of forward as well as reverse VI characteristics of PN junction diode in both silicon as well as germanium. So now if I've filled this table with all the different values of VS, forward voltage and IF, I need to calculate this part. Yes.
Screen is not visible, sir.
Screen is not visible. 1 second. I've shared. Others, are you able to see?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Black.
No, sir.
Okay, 1 second. Now?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now we can.
Okay, so till now we have taken the values of VS, VF and IF for forward bias and VS, VR and IR for reverse bias. Now we need to calculate the static and dynamic resistance value. So what is the difference between static and what is dynamic? Dynamic means it is variable, whereas static means it is constant. According to the Ohm's law, we know that V
Yes.
equal to I into R. So if I want R, I can calculate it by using V by I. This is nothing but static resistance. If it is dynamic, it is something which is variable in nature. So R is nothing but variable. So delta V by delta I. Say this. So this is a circuit diagram and we have taken all the parts and the graph which I got. Next, under forward bias, we need to calculate static resistance as well as dynamic resistance. If it is static, directly I can go with V by I. As it is forward bias, just put a suffix as VF. Suppose if it is reverse bias, it will be VR by IR. If it is dynamic means it is variable. How to calculate this dynamic value? Before plotting the graph, will you calculate, or else after plotting the graph will you do it? Dynamic resistance part.
After plotting the graph.
After plotting the graph, we need to. So this is VI characteristics, VF, IF, and this part is very important, milli and micro. Well, these are reverse bias characteristics. These are forward bias characteristics. And this is the cut-in voltage. Suppose if you are going with silicon, it can be either 6 or 7, generally considered as 0.7. Or else if it is germanium, go with 0.3. Now see, randomly I've drawn two perpendicular bisectors here. So the part which is touching here, I've named it as V1. And from here it is V2. I1, I2. So how to calculate delta V by delta I? Delta V means the maximum point. This is V2 minus V1 by I2 minus I1. So based on this, directly you can get dynamic resistance value. Okay, the same concept in reverse bias also. Take some random 2 points. So it becomes V1, V2. And the point which is touching here is I1 and I2. So under reverse bias case, if I want dynamic resistance, again same V2 minus V1 by I2 minus I1. Clear or any doubts with this part? Static and dynamic resistance for both forward bias as well as reverse bias characteristics. And what kind of Viva questions can you expect from this experiment? Yes, guys. Samyukta.
difference between static and dynamic.
Yes, and generally the guy who is coming from to take Viva, he will be from other colleges. Okay, so first he will concentrate more on theoretical part. He will ask all the questions based on this theory part, like what is the working of this diode and why this voltmeter is connected across the diode, why not through. So that you need to be perfect with that concept. And what is the difference between this ammeter and voltmeter. Okay, and mainly everyone will get confused with this part. See, this is a connection of diode. This is positive and this mark indicates it is negative. So don't make this mistake. And what about this? This arrow indicates
Variable
regulated power supply, sir. RPS.
it's not regulated. This is voltage.
Variable
and
voltage
it is
supply.
variable. Correct. It is variable. So why I'm saying it as variable means, see here we have took values for different values of Vs. So I'm varying the values here. For different values of Vs, I got different Vf as well as If. So that's why Vs is represented like this, variable voltage source. Okay. And however you know this under forward bias characteristics P to P and N to N. Here positive is connected to negative and negative is connected to positive. Clear with this? Experiment number 1, which is very easy. So under experiment 1 only, second part, which is Zener diode characteristics and its applications as voltage regulator. So before this, can anyone explain me the working of Zener diode? Working of Zener diode. Anyone?
Operated in reverse bias, sir.
Okay.
Is also as a voltage regulator.
Under forward bias, what will happen to Zener diode? Under forward bias case, what will happen to Zener diode?
PN junction diode.
Good. It will act as normal PN junction diode only. See, if you observe this graph, see all these characteristics are same again. From here till here, the characteristics of Zener diode is same. But once this VZ point is reached, will it turn on or turn off? Yes, it will start working. So that's why Zener diode will operate in this breakdown region on. Means it will start working in this breakdown region, whereas the normal PN diode can't do this. Just now we have seen the graphs also. If I increase the value beyond VR, so generally we have considered for VR as 30. If I increase that part beyond 30, huge amount of current is flowing through the diode, which may damage the diode. Okay, so in that cases, if I want to operate, so we will go with Zener diode. So here the aim is to obtain the plot of VI characteristics of the Zener diode and determine this breakdown voltage. So we need to calculate the value of VZ, breakdown voltage VZ, and again the same static and dynamic resistance. So let me call a rule number. You need to explain me about static and dynamic resistance. Rule number 305. 305.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you explain me about
Yes,
static and dynamic resistance? How to calculate static and how to calculate dynamic?
Dynamic resistance.
Yes, dynamic.
After plotting the graph.
Okay, how to calculate? Change in
voltage by change in current.
Okay, V2 minus V1 by
I2 minus
I1. Right, and these are the equipment that is needed for it. Apparatus. One is regulated power supply. So generally it is 0 to 30 VDC and 2 amperes. Next, voltmeter, which is used to measure voltage across, and ammeter, which is used to measure the current through the element. Right. Next, decade resistance box. What is this? Decade resistance box means
variable resistance.
good. It is variable resistance. Variable resistance. So in the experiment that we have seen just now, we are varying the values. Yes or no here? I'm varying resistance from 1, 2, 3, 4, so on till 10. So this is variable in nature or else it is static?
Variable.
So that's why I'm going with that particular component, which is nothing but decade box. Right. Next, the components. Main components are diode, and this number is very important. This particular diode we are using, which is Zener diode, which is BZX79. Whereas for PN diode, what is the number?
1007.
Yes, 1N4007 is the diode number for normal silicon as well as germanium, and for Zener diode, this is the number. Next, resistors. 2.2 kilo ohm resistor. Next, breadboard. Just now we have seen. And once if you know the working, no need to go through this part. Directly we can go with the circuit diagram. See this? Now can anyone explain me this
Why it
circuit
is
diagram?
written as half watt, sir?
Where? This one. So what is meant by watt?
Resistor.
What are the units of power?
Units of power.
Watt, sir.
Power. So how many formulas that you know for power? V into I.
V into I square R.
Okay.
I square R.
Square by R.
V square by R.
Yes.
So obviously there will be power ratings for each and every component that you take. Okay, so while calculating the efficiency of the rectifier, or else while calculating tough transformer utilization factor, what we did in case of rectifier? So what is transformer utilization factor?
The power being utilized by the transformer, sir.
PDC by PAC, right?
So it tells us that how much amount of power is being delivered to this load. Yes or no? 230 volt, 50 hertz. So tough tells us that the amount of power that is being delivered to the load. Why? Because the remaining power will be suppressed at this part. So obviously there will be power and voltage ratings will be there. Okay, VI ratings or power voltage ratings, anything is okay. So that's why here I'm considering it as half watt. So here power is half, 1/2 watt. So generally power is equal to dE by dt. Nothing but simply differentiation of energy with respect to time. Or else if you want energy is something which is integral P into dt. So can anyone explain me the working now? Working of Zener diode. Already we have read all these concepts. Working. So is this diode forward biased or reverse biased?
Reverse bias.
Observe carefully.
Positive to positive, sir. It is forward bias.
It is forward bias. So what will happen? What is the minimum amount of voltage that is needed for this diode to act as short circuit? Better I'll open the theoretical part that I've explained you, so that at least you will remember that concept. Let me open. So this, can anyone explain me this? Zener diode. Here, what is this VZ? What is VTH? What is VA and what is the use of this resistor? Same diagram, nothing have changed. Anyone from lateral entry? Rule number 322. Shivani?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you explain me this working of this Zener diode? What is this R here and what is this diode and why I'm connecting this configuration like this? What is the use of this resistor R? It is current limiting resistor. I mean, suppose if I apply 7 volt as an input, whereas the Zener diode needs only 6.2 voltage. Okay, generally we get this from the sheet. So specification sheet will be there for each and every diode. From that, the default value for VZ is 6.2. Means it need minimum 6.2 volt. So it will take that 6.2 and the remaining voltage, which is 0.8, will appear across this resistor. That's why it is called as current limiting resistor. Now, if voltage is less than 6.2, what will happen? And if it is greater than 6.2, what will happen?
Less than 6.2 breakdown.
Less than 6.2 means breakdown.
There will be no current flow.
Yes, there will be no current flow. So I'm saying here it needs minimum of 6.2. Okay, so if I apply beyond 6.2, it will start working. If it is below that, it won't work. So the same concept here also. Now you tell me here, or directly I'll go with first simulation part so that at least you can understand. So now VI characteristics of Zener diode. So Zener diode part is not there, I think here. Zener diode as voltage regulator simulation. Yes. Tell me what should I do now? First, I need to choose the diode. See, we shall go with different numbers so that we shall see what will happen. Here, what is 5.6? What is this? What is 5.6? Here I took some value which is 6. Here the value is 6.2. So depending upon the diode number, this value varies. So here for this particular diode, this is the value which I got. It is 5.6. So if the voltage is greater than 5.6, what will happen? And if it is less than 5.6, what will happen?
Less than 5.6, current doesn't flow.
Okay.
If greater than 5.6, then it works.
Right.
Enough.
Next, for different values of resistor, I'll take. See, suppose if RH is 1, I'll get some value. Slowly, I'll increase this value. Suppose if it is 6. By seeing this graph, you need to explain me now. Yes, what is this graph?
If greater than 5.6, then current will.
See this? What happened here? See, observe this table. For different values of input supply voltages, see what is this Zener voltage? What about this current? See from this part, if it is less than 5.6, no current is flowing. So that's why I'm getting output current as 0.
Yes, sir, zero current.
Once if that minimum point, at least 5.6, if I'm reaching, then small amount of current is starting flowing. See here, again it is 0.002. Next it is 0.030. Yes or no? Zener diode characteristics. So can I treat this as forward bias characteristics or else reverse bias characteristics?
Reverse biased.
Why? Because positive is connected to negative, negative to positive. Correct. Next, what about this regulation part? What is this line regulation and load regulation? I think you have read this. Line and load. See what is the difference between these two diagrams? First one and second one. Here positive is connected to P type and negative to N type. So that's why it is called as forward bias characteristics. Whereas here positive is connected to negative and negative is connected to positive. That's why it is reverse bias characteristics. Again, the table will be same for different values of Vs, which is nothing but variable supply. Like some random values I'll take 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. For random values of Vs, I need to calculate Vf, forward voltage, as well as forward current. In case of forward bias characteristics, the Zener diode working is same as normal PN diode working. And in case of reverse bias, the Zener working is almost same till Vz. If it is exceeding Vz, the diode becomes on and there will be a flow of current. Why? Because it will act as short circuit. Yes or no? Clear with this part? VS, VF and IF. Similarly for reverse bias also. See here, if I am considering this part as a VZ or else this part as VZ. If I increase voltage beyond this, it will enter into the region called as a breakdown region, and the diode will start functioning here. Zener diode functioning starts from this part. It will act as on, whereas here the working is same as normal PN diode, and here also the working is same as normal PN diode. Next, after calculating the values of VS, VF and IF, what is our requirement? I need to calculate
Static resistance
and dynamic resistance. So we can calculate static value easily. Suppose if you want to go for dynamic, simply calculate two different values based on the slope. So it is something higher voltage V2 minus V1 by I2 minus I1 in case of forward bias. Same case is applicable in case of reverse bias also. V2 minus V1 by I2 minus I1. So the first experiment will be a bit easy for you to understand. Why? Because already you have learned this. So the next we need to learn about rectifiers, like half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, and again in that also with filter and without filter. So if you are clear with this part, we can go with the next concepts. Okay, this is one of the basic experiment. Already we have completed theory part. Let me open that manual once again. So this experiment number 1 is VI characteristics of silicon and germanium diode and the measurement of static and dynamic resistance. So this one we have seen just now. And in that another part is Zener diode characteristics and its application as voltage regulator. Next, experiment 2 is non-linear wave shaping, which is clipper. In this clipper, we shall analyze all the categories like series clipper, shunt clipper. And again, how many categories are there within that series? Anyone, can you name them?
Biased, unbiased.
Right, biased, unbiased.
Positive and negative. Biased.
See, for this different circuits, we need to analyze the graphs here. So already we have learned it in the form of theory. Now directly, either you can use online simulation. Suppose if you are doing it in college, you need to connect the circuitry on breadboard and you need to analyze this by using an oscillator. You will see about this. First, let us complete the online simulation part so that if college is open, we can do there. Okay, these are different types of clippers. And the next experiment is non-linear wave shaping, which is clamper. What is the difference between clipper and clamper? Yes, difference between clipper and clamper.
Clipper means cut the unwanted.
Okay.
Clamper means adding DC value.
Right. So can you tell me the shortcut trick to explain the working of clipper? First, be perfect with the theory so that directly experiments we can do. Clipper.
Clipper will clip the output waveforms, sir. It is a device which used for clipping the output waveforms.
So is a series clipper or parallel clipper?
Parallel.
Observe carefully.
Series clipper.
Series clipper. Diode in series with load resistor RL. We call it as series. And what is the technique?
Yes.
Node connected to N.
Node connected to N. So it is negative clipper or positive clipper?
Negative, sir.
Negative clipper.
Negative clipper.
Negative clipper.
What about clamper? How to identify? And what is the trick for this? Here we will go with node concept directly. In clamper, what should I do?
Clockwise.
Okay, first charging and discharging of capacitor should be done. And what is the trick? I need this trick. Direction of the diode is very important here.
P2 and downwards.
Downwards direction.
Negative clamper
Negative
or positive
clamper?
clamper? Good. It is negative clamper. Suppose if diode is facing in upward direction.
Positive clamp.
Positive clampers.
So directly, again the same concept, theory part again. Just but you need to remember this values. Like I need 0.1 microfarad capacitor, diode number, and followed by the resistances. Or else if you want to experiment, you can take different values of resistance and you can analyze this graph also. So what kind of clamper is this? This one?
Negative clamp.
Negative clamper.
Negative clamper,
And what
sir.
about this?
Diode is
Bias
onward.
clamper, sir.
Yes, negative clamper with which reference voltage? Positive reference voltage or negative reference voltage?
Bias.
Negative.
Negative.
Good. Why? First, I need to check in clockwise direction.
Clockwise direction.
So first, negative terminal is coming. That's why it is a negative clamper. Next, the fourth experiment that we're going to discuss is full wave rectifier. And again in this, without filter and with filter. So already you know the theory part for this. So we shall do in both the cases, either by using bridge type diode, or else you can go with center tapped also. Okay. And with filter, without filter, what is the difference? Yes, what is the difference with filter and without filter case? Roll number 28 will explain. Roll number 28. 302, Ashok. 306. No response. I think you are saturated. Rule number 309.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you explain me what is the difference in case of using filter and without filter?
Yes, sir. Filter is used for changing of output waveform, sir.
How should I change? One key
It
point.
removes the ripple factor. And
Correct. It is used to remove the ripples, unwanted noise components if they are present. We have to remove that part. What is the output of an filter? DC or AC?
pure DC, sir. Pulsating DC.
Good. Input will be
Pure
pulsating
DC,
DC and
sir.
output will be pure DC.
Pure DC. Yes, sir.
Next experiment number 5 is bipolar junction transistor, common emitter transistor characteristics. So this is a topic which we are discussing now. So this is also very easy. So identify this one. What kind of configuration that I've used here?
Common emitter, sir.
Yes, it is common emitter configuration.
Common emitter.
And can anyone tell me how to draw the input characteristics and output characteristics for this? Input characteristics of CE. Yes, common emitter characteristics.
VB versus IB, sir.
Input characteristics means see. This is base, this is emitter, and this is collector. Yeah, tell me now. Input characteristics means VBE versus IC or IE?
Versus IE. IE, sir.
IE, sir.
IE or IB?
Sir, as emitter is common, IE does not exist, I think, sir.
Yes, it is IB.
IB.
Input current is IB and input voltage is VBE.
VBE.
For different values of output voltage or output current?
Output voltage.
For different values of output voltage. Next, if I want to plot output characteristics, then
VCE versus IC, sir.
yes,
For
VCE.
different values of current.
Correct. For different values of current. Which current? IB or IE?
IB.
IB.
So once if you know this directly, you can experiment with this. See, input characteristics means VBE versus IB for different values of VCE. In this manner, you need to put constant value at the output part. First, you put VCE as 1 volt, and again by varying this VBE, try to note down the values of IB. Next, after taking some 10 to 15 values here, put VCE is equal to 3 volt. And again try to vary the VBE voltage, try to plot the values. Same for any 3 values you take, so that you'll get input characteristics graph. See, this is input characteristics. It is nothing but a plot of IB versus VBE for different values of VCE. Here I took for 3 values. Suppose if I want to calculate for output characteristics, then which one should be maintained constant? IB. Take some random values. 1, 2, 3, 3 cases. Put this input IB as constant and you try to vary the VCE and try to calculate the values of IC. See here, first initial case I'm putting IB is equal to 10 microamperes, next 20 and 30. After this, you change the value of VCE now. From 1 to 24 you try to vary and try to plot the values of IC. So after filling this, directly you can plot the graph. But nothing but
Sir,
the plot.
will you just briefly explain the first experiment, sir? I missed the class, sir, from the beginning.
Which one? This one? C.
First experiment, sir.
Experiment number 1. This one, silicon and germanium.
1, sir.
Which experiment you need?
From the beginning, sir. 1, sir.
You're asking for a common emitter or else starting from experiment number 1?
Starting from the class, sir. Which experiment you have explained first, sir? That one, sir. I missed that, sir, from the beginning, sir.
Experiment number 1. So after the session, you can go through the recording because we have completed that simulation part just now. First, I'll tell you the overview of all the experiments that are there. Again, in detail, we shall go. Today, we have completed this experiment number 1, like VI characteristics of silicon and germanium diode. Okay, and some part of Zener diode also. And then next lab, we shall see about all this.
Where we can watch this recording, sir?
Recordings, I'll share you the particular YouTube link. This session is getting recorded. I'll send you that YouTube link. Okay, or else directly you can search like this.
Yes.
I think I've not published that one yet. Let me check. Already I've shared this link. See, analog electronics MCET. Here all the theory sessions are there, and now I'll upload this lab session also. So yesterday I've kept a video on how to install this FreeSync software just now, which I've shown you. This one I'll share you that link also to download the software. So better try to follow this video once and try to download this. Okay. So simply I'll share this link. Already I think I've kept this in our WhatsApp group also. See here, YouTube link is there. Simply you can click on this playlist link.
Okay, sir.
It will redirect you. Okay. Theory followed by lab. So in the next session, we shall see about this clippers and clampers. Okay, and what else next? This is FET, field effect transistor, which comes under unit 2 only. Static characteristics of MOSFET. Currently, we are discussing about bipolar junction transistor.
Sir, about that assignment, sir, I have attached the file yesterday, sir.
Okay, I'll go through it once.
Okay, sir.
I'll show you one question paper. See, analog electronics recent question paper. This was conducted on 17th of December. So from this, you can tell me how many questions you know, how many you can answer.
First one, sir. Zener and avalanche breakdown.
First one, second one.
And
Okay.
transformer utilization.
Second one also, sir.
Second one also. Next. Third one.
Configuration.
In CE configuration, he's asking you to find the value of IB. Can you do this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
What is the formula? IC is equal to beta IB plus 1 plus beta times ICB. By using that, you can solve. I'll make you solve that problem. Fourth one we have not yet started. Okay, so till at least 4 you can answer. And what about this long?
11th A.
So 11A you can answer directly. And see this problem. Already I've given you this one as an important question. Same model, no more changes. And see 12th A. What is the operating point?
Q point.
Definition.
Intersection of
So where is that 11th BA is available, sir?
11th B, I've kept some recorded videos in YouTube. Once try to watch those videos. I've kept some of the solved problems, numericals. Yes. What is operating point?
intersection of diode characteristics and load line.
Right. Next is, see this, derive stability factor for collector to base bias. What is stability factor? In yesterday's class only we have seen this.
SS dash.
S
is equal
dash
to
and S
D
double.
by derivative of IC by derivative.
So it is nothing but change in IC.
In ICB not.
Correct. What are the
Change
constants?
in IC by
Beta and VB.
So once after completion of this, I'll give you this as an assignment. Better try to put one notebook and write all in order, so that during an external part you can revise all those concepts easily. So till now you can answer first 4 short and 11th and 12th. So this one we have not yet started. 12th B, junction field effect transistor. Okay. So here 5th one and 6th one comes under unit 3, which we're gonna start within this week. Mostly I'll try to start this unit number 3 also. Okay. And what about this? Here you can observe 11th one is nothing but unit number 1, 12th unit 2, 13th is unit 3, 14th is unit 4, 15th is unit 5. Whereas 16th and 17th is nothing but a combination of all the units. So I hope you can answer this one also, 16A. Can you?
Yes, sir.
So he's asking you to explain the working of CE, CB, CC, and better try to plot the graphs also. And 16B also you can. Full wave rectifier with L
Yes,
section
sir.
filter.
Full wave rectifier.
And what about the 17th?
LED we can.
Yes, you can write about LED. And this one is
LED, yes,
thermal
sir.
stability is unit number 2.
thermal.
So what is thermal
Crystal
stability?
oscillator.
Thermal stability.
Temperature.
With an increase in temperature, what are the effects that you have observed?
Increase in resistance.
Thermal stability important. 100% you will get that again once again. So first, if temperature is increasing, so minority carriers varies with respect to temperature. So because of which IC naught will increase. So what is the relation? IC is equal to beta IB plus 1 plus beta times ICB naught. So here this reverse saturation current will also increase now. So because of which IC will vary. This is one factor. And because of temperature, what are the other parameters that will vary? In case of forward bias characteristics, you have seen. With an increase in temperature, forward bias characteristics are getting
2.5 millivolts, sir. Left side towards.
2.54 millivolt per degree centigrade rise in temperature. And what about this under reverse bias case?
At every 10 degrees.
For every 10
doubles.
degrees, the voltage gets
Doubled, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So it depends upon VBE. It depends upon reverse saturation current. And one more parameter is beta. Why? Because IC is equal to beta IB. If IC is increasing, obviously beta will also increase. So this is what you have to write here under thermal stability. Okay, so if you are perfect with 2 units, at least till here you can complete. So here 16A and B, total 15 marks. This one 15, 30. Here 15, 45. 45 and here 8 marks. 53. Just by reading 2 units, you'll get above 50. Okay. So be perfect with unit number 1 and 2 at least. And at the end, we shall start this field effect transistor. Why? Because if I teach it now, it will become a lag for us. Why? Because simply he has mentioned syllabus as only FET, but in detail we need to learn about that, like analysis part, like different configurations. Just now we have seen in bipolar junction transistor. What are the different configurations that are seen under BJT? First is CE, CB, and CC. In the same manner, FET. Here the T terminals are emitter, base, and collector. So just I'm giving you an overview. In case of FET, we call it as source, gate, and drain. Again, we need to learn like this: CS, CG, CD. And again, small signal models for this part. Okay, first you try to be perfect with bipolar junction transistor with all the configurations, followed by small signal models. Have you gone through that H parameters once again? H parameters of BJT. Can anyone tell me the equations that we got? What are dependent, what are independent? Have you revised? Guys, V1 is equal to
H11 I1
plus
H12 V2
12
V2
next I2 is equal to
H21 I1 plus H22 V2.
till here we have seen.
H21 I1 plus H22 V2, sir.
Okay, so I've uploaded the notes also. I'll show you. So if you are using OneNote, directly you can see from here. So these are small signal models. Small signal, low frequency hybrid parameter model of BJT. So once you read this, so that it will be perfect. So we have discussed all these concepts. Written notes. Okay. Here I've given for both NPN as well as PNP also. See here, common emitter NPN case, common base NPN, common collector NPN, and again I've drawn the graphs for PNP also. Under common emitter, common base, common collector. Better you go with NPN only. Next, this is the analysis part, which we have to see. In the next session, we shall derive this one. Okay, all the 8 to 10 parameters will be there. And this is your task. From here, your task, common emitter configuration. See, this is the diagram. I will explain you in tomorrow's class. I'll explain you about all these concepts. Analysis of BJT amplifier using H parameter model. So at least you be perfect till H parameters, like what is H11, what is H12, 21 and 22. Okay, by next session, so that we can finish the syllabus as soon as possible. Unit number 2. Okay, do you have any doubts with this topic? Next unit will be feedback amplifiers. We shall start.
From where we can download that recording, sir? That link, sir.
The recording, no need to worry. I'll upload that in YouTube only. Okay, I'll upload and I'll share you that link. Simply you go to that playlist and you can listen to the sessions.
Shall will you?
Okay, here. Only you follow this link. I'm managing all the videos in an order wise I'm keeping. There won't be any issue. Session wise I'm uploading all the sessions. Okay. So from here lab session, one more video also uploaded. It will be visible for you by today night at least. So better try to download this software and try. So this is the download link here. In the description box, you try to follow. Okay, actually, this is a paid software. Okay, you try to download and install the software and try to practice for lab sessions at least. Okay, do you have any doubts in today's session at least? I think everyone are saturated, including me.
Yes, sir. Did not eat till now.
Same situation with me also.
Sir,
Okay, if
in
you're
this
having
timetable, there is no lunch break, sir.
in timetable, there is no lunch break.
Yes, sir. From
See here,
9:30 to 4.
from 12:30 to 1:15 lunch break is there for you.
1:15.
Okay. If there are no doubts, I'll end the session.
Okay, sir.
Sir, about that assignment, sir. Lateral entry.
Assignment.
Assignment.
Wait, I'll check.
Sir, mid-exam marks.
How can we know you have received it?
So what's your number?
309.
309. Okay, you uploaded.
Okay, sir.
Sir, 304.
What is this handwriting? No issue. Okay, later I'll check and I'll assign you the marks. No need to worry about this assignments. Okay, so if you're having any doubts, at least lateral entry students, please go through those recorded videos. Because few of them have attended from unit number 2 and few are not there. So better go through that part. Okay, I'll end the session.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
ఎవరికి ఆయన వేస్తున్నాడా